If you're a Southern California homeowner, especially in a Orange County hillside or a rural area, there's an important fire law that could affect you when you decide to sell your home. It's called the Assembly Bill 38, or AB 38 for short, and it's one that still catches many sellers by surprise. This law actually took effect in 2021, and it requires sellers whose properties are located in a very high fire hazard severity zone to provide buyers with a fire hardening and defensible space disclosure. Let me give you a quick example. A client of mine in the Orange Hills listed her home and everything was going smoothly until the buyer's agent had asked us for their fire hardening disclosure. She actually didn't realize that her property was inside a designated fire hazard zone, so we hadn't completed that form, and that small oversight delayed our sale and caused a lot of unnecessary stress right before the closing. So to help you avoid that same situation, here's what you need to know about AB 38. First of all, it only applies to specific high-risk zones. AB 38 is not a statewide requirement for every property. It only applies specifically to homes located in the very high fire hazard severity zones, which are mapped by CAL FIRE as having the greatest wildfire risk. These areas are often found in the foothills, the canyons, or anywhere that just backs up to heavily vegetated areas where there's slope, wind, and dry brush, which makes fires more likely to spread quickly. So if your home is in one of these zones, you are required to include the fire hardening and defensible space disclosure. This disclosure informs buyers that your property is in a very high fire zone and it must comply with California's defensible space laws. Secondly, the disclosure focuses on your home's ability to resist wildfire. So this form is going to require you to describe specific construction features and materials that your home was built with that affect your home's fire safety. So I need my sellers to disclose details such as the type of roofing material, the attic, the foundation vents, the eaves, the decks, the sidings, the gutters, and the vegetation surrounding the home. So these details are going to help buyers understand how fire resistant a property is and whether it meets current safety standards. This process also helps our sellers identify simple improvements that can make their homes safer, such as clearing the brush and trimming the trees, or even replacing the older vents with ember-resistant ones. Making these key updates before listing can increase your buyer's confidence and reduce potential concerns during the sale. All right, key point number 3 is that the defensible space compliance may need to be verified. We actually have a Civil Code 4291 that requires homeowners in these high-risk fire areas to maintain at least 100 feet of cleared space around the structure. So this AB 38 connects this existing rule directly to the real estate transaction. And so if your local fire agency operates a defensible space program, you may need to show proof that your property meets the requirement. Or you may have to also have an inspection before closing. In many counties, here in Orange County specifically, your home will need to have the fire department come out, and they will schedule it and come out and walk your property to help you identify anything that might delay your closing process. Key point number 4 is you can actually verify your zone before listing. So CAL FIRE provides a public fire hazard severity zone map where you can enter your address to see whether your home lies in this very high fire hazard severity zone. If your land appears in red on this map, then the AB 38 will apply to your property. If your home's in a moderate zone, you're usually exempt from having to do this, but again, some local ordinances may still require the inspection or the disclosure. So knowing this before you list helps you prepare all the necessary documentation, and it will help you avoid surprises during the escrow and stay compliant with our California state law. All right, key point number 5, local rules and fees differ by county and even city. So the AB 38 provided a statewide standard, but local governments can do overlays. So for instance, Los Angeles City enforces the annual brush clearance rules for hillside properties. And in Northern California and Marin County, they charge a fee for defensible space before the sale. And Napa County may require re-inspection if your vegetation conditions change before closing. So just keep in mind that every jurisdiction handles enforcement differently. So it's very important to contact me or your local fire department or county assessor's office as soon as you confirm your home is in the very high fire zone. And that way we can provide accurate information on the required fees, inspection steps, and any documentation that you'll need to complete your sale. If you want to make it easier on yourself, just call me and I'll help you identify all this stuff. It doesn't have to be stressful, but once you understand what AB 38 requires, it's essential to attend to the details early, allowing you to avoid the last-minute issues and keep your sale on schedule. Preparing ahead also shows buyers that your home is safe, it's compliant, and it's ready for our transfer of ownership. If you are considering selling or simply want to check if your home falls under this law, please don't hesitate to contact me. You can reach me by phone, text, or email, and I'll help you determine what's needed, connect with you with the right local resources, and I will help ensure your sales proceeds smoothly from the start to the finish. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.